Welcome to Little Creek Bee Ranch. Welcome to 2025 bee season. It is March 12th, 9:50 in the morning. We're doing some Xentari spraying. So here's the deal. I've filmed this numerous times. I'll film it again. It always makes for good lessons. This is Xentari. It's a dry microbial. It's approved by EPA and all the bee community, etc., for using for preventing wax moth damage on the comb. You get a picture of that bag. Anyway, you can go check out our ebook we have written on ending wax moth damage forever. That's a good read. It's $40 worth the investment on how to prevent this mess of wax moths eating up comb. So this is a dry microbial. We're going to put a rounded tablespoon in the jug here. This is a 2-quart jug or a half-gallon jug. Shake it up, spray it on the comb and the inside of the box. It dries. It leaves a residue behind. And if wax moth worms start growing and eating, that microbial gets in the gut of the worm and kills the worm before they get big and get a rally on me and put down cocoons and all that whole terrible mess. So this issue of wax moth damage is avoidable. But a lot of people aren't told that. It's completely avoidable. What do I do here? A rounded teaspoon, a rounded tablespoon, huh? Get that in there in my little cup. Come on, cup. There you go. That's enough. I put when I get the bag in, I'll open it up and put it in a quart jar to make sure it stays nice and tight and sealed. See, out of the way. Let's put that back over here. Out of the way with the spoon. I usually like to try to spray March and September. Last year was kind of messed up. I didn't get my spraying done, so we really have to be done now. So I go to a jug of water, fill it up, 2 quarts. It's getting kind of heavy, you know. All right. Important lesson. This is very important. Now, a lot of people are watching the videos. Some of them are in the personal advisor program. We have a structured coaching program. Some of you aren't. That's cool, whatever. A lot of new beekeepers aren't told their comb needs to be super protected. It is super precious and super important to them because you really do want to build up your comb and get to a point to where you can just put a box of comb on the hive so they don't have to always rebuild wax comb. By doing that, you'll make more honey. But it takes several seasons to build up all that comb, provided you have protected it properly. So once comb comes off of the hive and is spun, we'll let it set out and let the bees lick all the liquid up. That takes the residual liquid. That takes several days, and then we'll bring the comb in, wash it with water, rinse it out, go to the freezer, let it set for 24 hours in the freezer to kill anything that we don't see. Then bring it out, come to room temperature, and we would spray like you see here. Man. Once it's sprayed and dries, the boxes sit crisscross stacked in the honey hut. We don't flush them up because the moths are attracted to the dark. Another thing we can do is when we crisscross stack them after they've been dried, crisscross stack and put a cardboard coaster on top with about a $50 size of patchouli oil on the coaster, and the moths don't like patchouli oil. Just little tips to keep the moths away from your comb. And it's not just enough to set them in the sunlight. So hang them in the sun. No, not enough. Been here, done this. This is, I think, our 20th year. So I hope you'll listen and learn. It's a big deal. And we'll go this way. Frames come out. Frames just sit right there. Can you see the whole table? Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get a spray going here. Ooh, boy, that table's dry rot. This is the last run for this table. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, that cleared, whatever that was. All right. Oh, man. Oh, man. That table's it's falling apart. So you want to get the water everywhere. We may not make it through 16, 17 boxes. Oh my gosh, man. I want it's not going to hurt your hands or anything. And we don't spray it wet on the bees. We don't spray it in a live hive. The table is done for, man. Okay. So, okay. That box is set back there. I'll take all the frames. This is morning time, so it's kind of cool. So be tender with the comb. It's brittle. Ooh. And I'll turn the top bars to me. Ooh. So that the honeycomb has an angle to it. So you want to make sure you spray down inside the cell. Come on, Kendall. And I'm all set out. And you might do it a little differently. This is how I do it with a good sprayer. Have it on there tight might help. You can always tell it's the first of the year. There we go. The melody backs up. The wind's coming. It is, isn't it? What else do we want? They get it all over. Look, if you're brand new to beekeeping, or even if you're an older beekeeper, you're going, oh, you mean another chore? Yeah, another chore. If you want to protect your comb. Moth crystals don't work. Don't tell me that. They evaporate. Then the boxes are left in the dark. Then the moths come back in. Been there, done that. So yeah, you get to watch me do this. So while you're watching, I'll just keep talking. How's that? Personal advisor program, a coaching program we developed about 6 years ago. It's super popular. You can go to littlecreekbeeranch.com, look at the personal advisor program, and study what's there, because the learning curve in beekeeping will eat you up. So if you're really sharp beekeeper coming in, you know you're going to need a coach, somebody who's dedicated to coach you, not your buddy down the street, somebody who's really there. So it's a $29.95 a month program. You get a ton of content in the program. And you can always call and ask questions about it. The YouTube channel that you're on, Ken Davis the Beekeeper, always filming and making new content. If you're inside the advisory program, you get free Zoom classes. I think there's 13 of them now. If you're a street student just coming to us to learn just here and there, then the Zoom classes are $30 a piece. If you'll take this melody and give me another one, please. Thank you. It's all about the learning curve, and you need a solid answer to knock out the learning curve. Thanks. So you get a rhythm going. If you see here, the divots, that's where wax moths have burrowed into the wood to attach their cocoons. Are terribly destructive to the wood. Not cool. So a little bit of work on the front end. They sure pay benefits on the far end. Do you remember our visit, Melody, when you and I were up in Bernice, Oklahoma? We got off the highway. There's a big fat man on the corner with his honey, selling honey out of his Toyota truck. You don't remember that? Oh, come on, man. Melody and I were running errands up northeast Oklahoma. I don't know what we were doing. And saw a beekeeper off the side of the interchange, the highway, in the gravel with his wife. And he had a Toyota truck. The back of it was just huge, fat, loaded with honey. And had a table out with an umbrella and a couple of chairs, another table with honey on it. We had to stop and talk to this guy. He was a very big man. Talked to him right away, asked him, how many colonies do you have? He said 100. And I was like, are you serious? He was a very large man. And right away he knew what I was. He said, young man, look, do you think I get out there and work in the hot summer? I said, no, not really. He said, I sit on the porch and drink sweet tea. His wife was laughing. He said, yep. I said, well, how do you approach this then? He said, well, I'll have my wife go get the swarms and catch them in a paper sack. Come over to me. I'm sitting in my chair in front of an empty box, and I'll just dump them in the box. And she'll go get the next one and bring it over to me. And I said, really? He goes, yeah. We'll let them settle down for 2 or 3 days and then come back and put all the honey boxes on and let them run for the summer. And then we'll come about August time and pull off whatever we can harvest. It struck me as such a shock. Did I turn these over? It struck me as such a shock because that's not traditionally what I was taught to do. Traditionally, you're taught check on your bees once a month, add a box if they need the space, etc., etc. Thanks. But this man had a full-time operation of over 100 colonies. He said, there's about $20,000 of honey in the truck right now. We'll sell that. And there's a whole lot more to be spun back in the house. I said, holy cow, man. I said, so you just put boxes on, 3 or 4. So, yep, I put on 3 or 4 boxes. If they fill them, they fill them. If they don't, they don't. If they can't make it, I don't want them. I said, holy cow, man. And his thinking was, I'll let you do this. His thinking was, I'm not going to belabor the point of going out there every month to check on them. That's just too much work. Which he's right about that. Thanks. But here's a man who is a large man, but he's still able to do it because his strategy was different. Therefore, there's a reason for this story. Therefore, if you want to implement that strategy, you need to have comb built up. Now, the bees will always pull comb every spring, but it's helpful to already have a whole set of comb. Then when they're stabilized for the springtime, you can just go in there and put on 3 or 4 boxes and walk away. Now, what if they don't make? Okay, so they don't make. Well, what if it doesn't work? Well, it doesn't work. You might know why, you might not know why, it doesn't matter. But I say to you this, do bees fill up a tree trunk? Do they have to have somebody tell them, hey, you got to fill this up? No, they do that instinctively. They'll fill the box instinctively. But by you providing the comb for them, they don't have to spend so much energy and burn so much honey to draw out all this wax. So you, in turn, will make more honey because you provided the wax comb. But you, as a beekeeper, have got to understand how to go the extra distance to protect all your comb. That's what you're watching here. We just call it the Fat Man from Bernice strategy. And there's other beekeepers. You can go. Here's another one. Waldo McBurney. He's since passed away. Lived in western Kansas. Keeping bees at the age of 100. About 100 hives or more. And it was kind of a laissez-faire system. They let them swarm. Swarming's healthy for them. Not going to fight them. And you go out there and put on 3 or 4 boxes every spring, 3 or 4 boxes, and let them go. Later in the summer, come out and pull off what he can harvest. Wow, age 100. So you know, it depends upon the the methodology that you want to develop. Ooh. And what's your methodology going to be? And you might try this with one of your colonies. You know, try it and see. Putting on, like, what is this, March? I'm about a week behind kind of where I want to be. And go out there and put on, I want to confirm that the colony's stable. Stable, not planning to swarm. I'm just shaking off the residual. And then put on, I don't know, I like even numbers, 4 boxes. 2, these are shallows, I'm looking, shallow boxes. 2 full shallow boxes of honey will give you a 5-gallon pail. 2 full medium boxes of honey, they give me a 5-gallon pail plus about a third of another bucket. Thank you. This is the stuff that you don't see beekeepers do if they do this. Lot of them don't. They've not been taught. We have a number of Xentari videos. And the ebook that we've written. Ooh. Wow. This table's done. Time to throw it away. Every bee season's different. It will depend upon the weather. It's a little, we're not going to open up hives today yet. I need to put on pollen traps. They'll go on early in the year to larger colonies. I need to have a full single deep minimum for a pollen trap. Anything less than 1 full deep of bees is too small. Stripping away too much pollen. Shout out to Anna and Addison. About that. To Anna's girls, homeschooled, rocking cool. So here's a quiz for you girls. How long is a queen bee? How long is a queen bee? About the length of your finger, your little finger. I turned them over, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Let's not get to talking. Right. Now, here's a tip. See this metal rack right here? It holds 9 frames, not 10. So we'll pull one, space them out, and they'll pull it out further of honey, and you'll make more honey in 9 spaced out versus 10 traditional frames. Ha! Tip. So some of the boxes are set at 9, some are at 10. Doesn't matter. Up to you how you want to do it. After we have sprayed these, we will let them set out this afternoon and air dry. In the evening before sundown, we'll put them back in the honey hut. And the bees are showing up now. They will. There you go. She's like, hey, what is this I smell? So we're out of juice. We need to put some more in. Yep. Tips and tricks, man. I wish the learning curve in beekeeping was more genteel, but it's not. It'll pummel you. If you don't address the learning curve, a new beekeeper will last about 2 years, maybe 3. Then they get too frustrated and quit. Over to the jug for some water. Come on, half gallon. Come on. Oh no. Come on. Golly. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Okay. Get it down tight. So I'm gonna do a brag on Melody here. Last year, Melody came out to gather a swarm. She wanted to start beekeeping, which is cool. Our daughter's starting beekeeping. So she doesn't like to use a jacket or a veil, which is up to her. So we taught her how to scoop swarms by hand. That's cool. The bees appreciate it. They know the difference. And we're filming her. And she started off with her hands. Her hair was braided back. That's proper. No rings on, because if you get stung in the fingers, they'll swell. So she started working with her hands and got stung on the tip of the finger. So she decided, I will use Dad's gloves. Let me have your gloves, Dad. Which is fine. So she slowly scooped them, deposited them to their box, and she was humming and singing. But you don't remember that, do you? And there were there was thousands of bees around her head, all around her hair and head, and she's so focused on gently scooping them up. Later, she's watching the video. She said, Dad, I was humming and singing. I said, I know. You were so tunnel vision. You were doing your thing, and the bees let you do that. They were all over my head. I said, I know. I was watching you, man. We posted that video. That video got massive hits, man. You got to go back and look at Melody's swarm catch from last year. You'll see her hair's pulled back in a braided ponytail. That's great, man. Lots of comments about that one. Everybody's temperament is different, and the bees can sense it. Melody's just got that peaceful temperament. I think she'll make a good beekeeper. Cool video. Okay. I am anxious to get into the bees. I try not to start too early in the year. It looks like it might be an early spring, but Oklahoma's weird. I've seen big snowstorms by May 6th, May 10. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. Watch a skunk come flying out of there. Okay, so here's another quiz question. So you go out to your apiary. Apiary is where you keep your beehives. You go out to your apiary, and you're looking at and you see little skull wads on the ground around the front or side of the hive porch. Look like little dips, like somebody spit out a dip of tobacco. And you go, what the heck is that? So when I was a new beekeeper, I saw that. I thought somebody's out here partying. Where's the Budweiser cans? Was sucking. I didn't know what I was seeing. So I had to ask my bee coach. He said, Bubba, those are skunks. I said, what? What? He said, skunks that come up on the porch, they're not scared of anything. They're a cat. And they'll sit up on the porch and use their long nails and stab bees and suck on bees all night. And they get a mouthful of them and they spit them out. And they'll sit there. He said, if you want to stop a skunk, you come out early in the morning before sunrise. You'll find them walking away, going to water. It's exactly what I saw. Several times I've done that and shot big skunks down at the pond. 12-gauge shotgun to take care of them. There you go. Yeah, man. So if you see skull wads around your bees, those are skunks working your bees. Melody, is our table going to last? Our table lasts. All right.
Your birthday was in February, so you'll have to wait a whole nother year.
No, I'm not. No. No. Okay. That aside. And even if it doesn't have comb, we'll spray it. You also want to spray the underside of inner covers. We're not going to do that today. I'm just going to do the comb because we want to be able to get this comb out. It doesn't produce anything for you if it's stuck in the honey hut, right? All your equipment. And setting out catch boxes. Same principle goes for catch boxes. Even if it's just foundation, you want to get the inside of the box and the foundation all sprayed with Xentari and let it dry before you put it out. Ooh. Yeah. 4. Now back to the Fat Man from Bernice story. He had a real passive system. I mean, I know it's harder for him to go out there in the hot summer. I mean, and it's hard for me. And you always try to keep an open mind and learn different methods, different strategies. You should be in the business of collecting golden nuggets of strategies in beekeeping. See what you like, what works for you. There's so many different ways of approaching this. That's what blows new beekeepers out. It's like, okay, well, how do I do this? I don't know. We're going to find out. So in the advisory program, we kind of are strict on our protocols, and we want new members to just follow us pretty strictly the first 2 or 3 years. Call and talk to me when you're thinking on doing something. Let's just talk about it. And if I know you're going to get burned, I'll go, no, let's don't do that, and here's why. Avoiding the pitfalls, traps, and mistakes that senior people like me have made. Why do I want you to make that? Yep. Thanks. All right. Now the bees are still kind of cold in the house. They're clustered up still. But here in a little while, they're going to be out in mass. They're going to smell this. They're going to be over here checking out all these boxes. So Melody, you're stacking them in sets of 4, which is good. What if we have a swarm hit one stack? Then what? What would you do? Well, I'm not going to shoo them out. a swarm hit it. So I'm going to let them settle. I'm going to gently square those boxes up, and I'm going to get them on a bottom board and let them operate just out of those 4 shallows. And I'll rotate them through the season. I'll rotate them up and out of there. Yeah, it's a fact. Yeah, it's a fact. And sometimes swarms taking a box, it can happen fast. Sometimes not so fast.
Sometimes they don't want to stay at all.
Yeah, sometimes they don't want to stay at all. All right. So here's the hard rule for managing swarms in a catch box. Once you feel like a swarm is taking a catch box, you want to see that there's pollen coming in. Once you see pollen coming in, we know that we have a laying queen. She lays eggs that hatch into a larva. Larva is growing. It needs protein. Pollen's a protein. So we associate pollen coming in with a laying queen. Okay. From that day that we see that, we'll mark 3 weeks. We won't mess with them or open them for 3 weeks. Now why? The swarms are very sensitive and shy. If you go in there the first week and start jacking with them, they're going to abscond, take their queen, up and out they go, because they got nothing holding them in there. Nothing is binding them in there. So you have to understand the principle is bees are brood sensitive first, and then queen sensitive, and then honey sensitive, in that order. Brood sensitive, queen sensitive, honey sensitive. So don't get in a rush. Once you see bees, you think that they're on the catch box. Here's another indicator. Is when you're looking at a catch box and you see bees floating on all 4 sides on the outside, those are scout bees looking at the entire offering. You're offering them home. So they're looking all 4 sides. Stay away from them 30, 40 yards away. Do not walk up to them. If you walk up to them, you have busted it. They won't come back. You have ruined it. Mistake often made. So let the scout bees do their work. They may do that for 3 or 4 days, and there'll be more and more scout bees show up. Here you go, Mel. Thank you. And then you will have a day that's quite quiet. Day or 2 is quiet, and then here comes the big swarm. We'll let them get housed up. Give them a few days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and then I want to sneak up behind them and just look over on top of the porch to see the pollen coming in. If I see pollen coming in, I'll mark that date. Give them 3 weeks. The reason we wait 3 weeks, it takes 21 days to hatch a worker. That's 3 weeks. So we want them to lay down eggs, larvae, pupa, caput. That anchors the bees. They're very reluctant to leave then. But I'm not going to go in there and be rough with them. Also, too, when you do this, people, they ask me, well, how do you know what kind of bee you have, like Italian, Carnelian, Russian, whatever? Well, we don't know really until they get brood down and the true colors of the colony come out. Their attitude, their temperament, what they're like, really. And the brood gives them something to defend, something to react for. Italians are pretty chilled. Russians could be pretty robust. They can be pretty spicy. Not really the bee I'd want for a new beginner. Beekeepers like them because they put up a truckload of honey, and they're very hygienic. They like to be worked in the morning time, like now, like 9 to 11. In the afternoon, they can be pretty spicy. Just different characteristics. Oh, see, man, all the tips you're getting for free, man. See, it helps to see somebody do this, and you can think about how would I set my system up here to do that. I don't know, that's up to you. You'll develop your style. Frames must be covered in Xentari. We work way too hard for these darn wax moth worms to come in and screw our system up. Go go spend the $40, buy the ebook on how to end wax moth damage. And in there we have the story of my wife who broke her knee one summer. Even had the x-ray of all the metal work that went into her knee. And there was no beekeeping work going on that summer. And we lost like 40 boxes of comb. I think we lost like 10 hives. It was bad. It was not cool. Ooh, did I see something in there? Oops. No. Okay. What we got here? Yay! All right. If I can make it work. In America, American beekeepers, we have all these box sizes, shallows, mediums, deeps. It can get confusing for a new beekeeper. European beekeepers are light years ahead of us. They've been doing beekeeping forever. So I learned a truckload from European beekeepers. Typically, they will have one size box system, the mediums, 6 5/8 size, and they'll be 12 frames wide, not 10. Now the frames are all interchangeable. But in our system of American beekeeping, no, we got to have all these different sizes of, oh my gosh. So I recommend to the new beekeepers coming into our program, look, you're going to have deeps and mediums. That's it. Don't be trying to work in shallow stuff. The bees fill them up too quickly and causes you to come right back out to the apiary unless you give them like 4 or 5 boxes at a time. Tip, see? Unless you just like coming out in the hot sun every 3 weeks and sweating your butt off. Bees are better left alone. Less is more with the bees. So don't become a bee addict and go check on them, open them. You do that too much and they'll abscond. Very private. They like their privacy. I'm out of juice. Yep. Hey. I'm out of juice. Very private. Less is more. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. That. Whatever damage, like you see this piece of comb here, if I can keep it in there, the bees will fix it all back. It's incredible. They can repair and fix stuff. We just don't want to give them a frame. It's just a bunch of webs. They'll reject that. They won't do that. A little bit's okay. They can clean that out. You give them too much, they'll go, not doing it. Nice day today. What other tips? All kinds of tips. Okay, Mel. Yeah. Yeah. Reload. So I use my tablespoon, one rounded tablespoon into the cup because the cup I can bend it. And, bend the cup. It's good enough. Lid on. Back. Water. You probably wouldn't have to spray but once a year. I try to do it March and September. Okay. Myself, yeah. Unless you just want to go through a lot of pain like I did with wax moth damage. Wished I had taken pictures and filmed the damage. I was taking care of Kelly for the whole summer. I didn't make it down to the honey hut till September. Opened the door, there was worms on the ground, on the floor, on the wall. Oh, it was really, really bad. I knew all the comb was destroyed. Ooh, yeah. Have to get a new table. Okay, that's all right. $60. Six longer. Yeah, probably time to invest in one. She's saying there's a 6-foot plastic folding table at Sam's for $60. $60. Pardon? Oh yeah, we have not been paid by Sam's to promote their product. Yeah. Ooh, I give a plug to Melody. Gerard Family Farms. Look at her roll her eyes. Oh yeah, you're worth it too, man. Phenomenal gardener she is. Phenomenal artist, painting and pottery. Huge skills. Are you on Facebook? Gerard Family Farms. Got it? We got a website yet? How come? Are you on Etsy? Marketplace? Yeah. Okay. Gerard Family Farms. Honey kits. Making up honey kits. Valentine's honey kits. That's past. Gift boxes. And what? What's in? Oh, making scones. Scones. And they're phenomenal too. A dozen in a box for $30. Is that right? What? Well, you can talk. Nobody says you can't talk. Well, I don't know. Are you just make the scones and come give them to me?
That fits right in with your Mediterranean diet.
Yeah, my just yes, that's dessert. Oh man. Oh yeah. So I'll ask all the people listening here. So when you start beekeeping, let's say you're new, first year or two, I'll ask you like I was asked. So tell me, which way do you want to take beekeeping? And you go, what? That's always the question. Well, you want to sell honey only, or do you want just the pollination? Do you want to sell bees? You want to sell wax? You want to teach beekeeping? You want to harvest pollen? Do it all? So whatever. You got to decide. See, but beekeeping offers you lots of avenues. You think it through. You go, holy cow! And then the issue of competition comes up. People get all worried. No, no, there's no concern for competition. Ooh, Just spun too fast. Keep them. See if you can keep them in a stack of 4. Well,
That's the odd man out, so I had to go
okay.
somewhere.
So in case the bees hit them, yeah. That's the only thing we think about. So while we're gone, the swarm comes in. Ooh. Yep. It's alright. This is just one of those necessary chores. You know, little webs. See that? They started and I see some worm damage. They're little. See, they died. Yeah. They got into the Xentari and killed them small. Good deal. The bees will clean out all the small stuff. Yeah. Once you're sprayed and dried, then you can start working on the bees. Okay, here's another golden nugget tip for you. So you're excited and you're catching swarms and you're going woohoo! And you got a swarm in the box and maybe you give them a jar of sugar water on the porch. And you go, all right. Then you have some cold nights down in the 30s, maybe 20s. And you come out there in 3 or 4 days and you find your swarm that you were excited about, they're dead now. And you go, what the heck? Well, we didn't think that one through. They'll cluster up tight to stay warm. They're not coming down to the porch in cold weather to drink that water. So, did you feed them up top? No. See, they don't have any food inside unless you gave them a frame of pollen or something. They don't have any resources, just whatever little bit of honey is in their tummies. And that's not going to be enough. So when you catch a swarm in the early part of the season, I always tell my students, look, you're going to have to feed down low and you're going to feed up high at the same time until you get out of these cold nights. Otherwise, you're going to have dead swarm. Been there, done that too many times. Like, dang, this stinks, man. That's right. Because nobody told you. You got to think strategically. Protein candy block up high with a spacer around it, just laying flat on top of the frames, right on top of the frames. All right. March 15 to April 15 is the red zone. See, Melody, you're getting all this in a class. This is a class for you. March 15 to April 15 is the red zone. That's when a lot of colonies die. We want to get past that April 15 point. I always think of March Madness basketball and tax time. That time period. Once I'm past April 15, I can breathe. Kind of hold my breath until I get past April 15. This is March 12, so we got a month to go. Yeah. Yeah. Some of these boxes need to be repainted. Time to paint some. Ooh, look at those old divots. Golly jeepers, I don't know if they can see. All these old divots from wax moth damage. Whew, my. Long time ago. So don't be assumptive when you're working with swarms. Maybe nothing will happen, but I've just seen too many colonies die because they didn't properly supply them with food to get them through the cold spring nights. Again, that was avoidable. What the heck? Yeah. 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 Ooh. Oh, there's a wire. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, if you think you're going to be clever, I'm just going to make me a bucket of that stuff up, and I'm just going to put that frame in there. That won't work, because those holes will create an air bubble, and the water won't get down inside there. As hard as you swish, it's incredible. And the reverse is true. If you don't remove the cappings from all the cells, that honey's not coming out no matter how hard you spin it. It's incredible. So don't cheat the system. Just copy what we're doing. That's what I would tell you. Copy what we're doing. Ooh. Yeah, man. Worth doing. You'll have a lot of frustrations. Worth doing. Wished I'd started when I was a young guy, 18, something. When did we start? 20 years ago? How old was I? 63, 40, in my early 40s. This is our 20th year, man. Wow. There you go. Thank you. 20th season. You'd think you'd learn a little bit. 20 years of beekeeping. Later. Dust, hey? Hey, be gentle on my table, man.
Antique.
It's done for. It's done for. I'm gonna let you spray the rest of these. How about that? Oh no, you don't want to. I'm sorry. Okay, you have to. Oh well. You got to be used to being filmed, man. You're the star player. You come out in your braided ponytail and work that whole entire swarm and singing to them, and they never bothered you. That is just unbelievable, man. They just sense that you're a sweetheart and they let you do that. You got to go back and find that video and watch it, everybody. That is so cool. What was the title? Melody's Swarm Catch? Is that what we titled it? Well, girl, you got like thousands of hits on it. Bunches. Very cool. That's all right. This part of it, man. Yeah. I think I'm all for putting some good honey boxes on, maybe even 5 on a good strong colony. Now, if it's a swarm colony, understand swarms, they have a voracious work ethic. You could probably get away with that. 5 boxes. If it's an early swarm like early April, they got the time to fill it. Yeah, baby. Set it and forget it. Like that idea. Now, some of you are probably scoffing me right now. Going, that won't work. Berta, how do you know how they're doing it? Well, I hadn't told you everything yet. Hold on. So how would we know the condition of the colony? If I'm going to do a set and forget, like the man from Bernice, put on 3 or 4 or 5 boxes in April and walk away. Well, I'm going to do acoustic testing. Say, what? With my APVox auditor, my APVox smart monitor, right? Oh, see now. You come out here and you get a whole bunch of tips and tricks and strategies. So go back to our website, littlecreekbeeranch.com, go to the acoustic beekeeping page, start reading. The sister page to that one is Making the Connection. Start reading. Apivox Smart Monitor is an app that will listen to the bees, the hum and the vibrations of the bees. That's how the bees communicate, is through a series of vibrations and humming on a hertz scale from 50 hertz to 550 hertz. They constantly are vibrating. Every one of the diapasons along that line has a definition of meaning, whether they're passive or they're queenless or they're queen ride or they're doing good works, putting up honey and wax. Apivox Smart Monitor. You can't get it at the traditional app stores. It has to be custom made. We can hook you up to the link. The link for ordering is on our website. How much, let me ask you this. How much would you pay for an app that would tell you, listen to the vibration of the bees, and tell you that the colony is going to swarm 3 weeks out? 3 weeks heads up? Would you have enough time to get something prepared and ready? 3 weeks. What would you pay for just that? What would you pay for an app that would tell you if the colony's queen right or not? Or if they've accepted a new queen or not? Or if there's harvestable honey ready to take off or not? Oh, I can keep going. And some of you are going, that's ridiculous. That's just a magic 8-ball. Whatever. Nope, it's a real thing. I love the scoffers. Of them. Had a gentleman contact me from Australia one day. He threw down on me. Said, you can't teach me anything new about beekeeping. I've been doing this for 50 years. It was about Apivox acoustic work. I didn't fuss with him. I just waited. In about a week, I get this real sheepish text. Said, what was that you were saying again about Apivox? See, you never learn it all, man. I don't care how long you've been a beekeeper. You don't know. I don't know it all. I know some cool stuff. Teach some cool stuff. The people, I love the attitudes of the people. $40 for Apivox app. I don't make any money from you buying an app. Downloads on Android device only. You can go if you're an Apple owner like me. You can go to the dollar store and get a $40 Android track phone, and you only need Wi-Fi to download the app. What happened there? And then once the app is downloaded on the device, Apivox is a standalone device. It operates out in the field. It doesn't have to be hooked to Wi-Fi to operate. Very slick. Then we take our Bluetooth earpiece and we sync it. We sync it to the device and it syncs to the app, and we slip the Bluetooth on the porch just about an inch inside and listen to the colony. Stand back and take our readings. Now, if you still are scoffing at me, I'm going to scoff back at you. Don't you take your truck to the dealership and the mechanic tech hooks up a card or something to the console, and all the data flies over to the computer and tells him exactly how the truck's running? That's no different than what we're doing. We're just taking the computer to the bees versus the bees to the computer. No difference. Very Very cool. Very slick. Technology is here to do that stuff. You may not even have to open. See, traditional beekeeping says you must open the colony or everything. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. You need to understand bees. But you'll learn more about bees when you learn about acoustics. They're talking. They're girls talking. Finish bee. All right. Oh, Melody. Let me finish this. Okay. Give a shout out to Marlo in Tahlequah. She taught a class a couple of weeks back. In Tahlequah. Marlo, I'm gonna send you this video, Marlo. Awesome beekeeper. She was a student out here for quite a while with Cindy and Doug and Jody, the crew. We had great fun. Doug and Jody's place had a big fire roll up near their house, burned some beehives. Huh? No, that does Skytube. Yeah. Yeah, you make some great friends in beekeeping. Yep. I swear, man, that's great stuff. We have 8 acres here, and we've run up to 43 colonies scattered on 8 acres. That's too much. The bees are so good at scouring the area and sucking up every bit of nectar. Then they get weak, and weak colonies make you work harder. So the magic number for here is about 12 to 15, I think is best. Something like that. Yeah. Yep. Here's another tip. You have another golden nugget. Keep your tools, like where you store your beehives and all your tools and stuff, pretty near the apiary, within 80 yards, so that you can use a pull cart. Now, some of you have property afar from your house, so you got to drive. I understand that. But we had 4 big apiaries, and we were scattered, and we had to use a truck and load the truck and unload the truck. That's a pain. Just use a yellow gorilla cart. Pull my stuff around. So much easier. So don't get your tools and hives and stuff all scattered from hither to yon. Keep them kind of close. About 80 yards. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool beans. Tips and tricks. Tips and tricks. Yeah. So are you planning on opening big colonies with no veil? Is that what your hope is? Okay. I'm not saying you can't, but you got to limit yourself if you take a sting in the face. And I've always told myself 3 stings and I'm out. I mean, for bare skin. It emits too much pheromone and they get all wound up. Plus, if you get stung on the face, like the eyes or nose or mouth, it's real uncomfortable. It's time for some Benadryl and Jack Daniels for the day. Boy, I was stung on the eyelid. That hurt, man. Whew, that's tough. All right. 2 more boxes. And after we're done, we're gonna restack them and spread them out so they get more air. Okay. Are you learning anything?
The same things I've been learning.
Well, it's a refresher for you. It's a refresher.
I've been here the longest.
Yeah, she says it's not her first rodeo. I know. I appreciate your help. Hey, at least you get out here and help. I mean, you know, Blaine helps. Megan. Yeah. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Everybody does their part, but I will say this: I miss Claremore Farmers Market mornings. That was fun.
I miss market mornings.
Getting up so early.
I don't mind getting up early. My house.
I'd roust.
What am I doing every weekend now?
Well, wait till the kids are older. They'll want to help you more. Then they'll complain when you get them up at 4 to get ready to leave by 5 because you got to be set up by 6. Look, I'm going to buy you breakfast sandwiches at McDonald's. Then they fly out of bed, fly into the truck.
There's a cancer patty. Enjoy it.
Yes, yeah. Here, let me buy you a cancer patty. And you go, oh my gosh, man. Blaine would go. He would go up and down the aisle at farmers market and trade honey for watermelon, potatoes, tomatoes. Remember, he'd bring back a whole armload of vegetables and put them in the truck. So much so people go, "Hey, I want to buy that watermelon." But no, that's mine. You know,
That's what farmers markets have turned into.
swap and shop. Yeah.
Where you're trading your goods
Yeah.
for other goods.
Trading goods for other goods. Yeah.
So I trade honey for lamb steaks and microgreens.
There you go. Barter and trading. Yep, that's right. That's okay. But Blaine, I mean, I'd like to make a little money. Blaine was trading so much, like, dude, you're cutting into my revenue. You gotta stop giving away everything. Oh, it was great fun. But you were the money manager. I remember the morning you got on to me because the bills were all cockeyed and 1s and 5s and 10s are all, and you wanted more organization. And I just handed you the money bag. There's your job. You're the money manager. That's all right. A great way to build relationships with your teenagers. That's
Force
why.
them out of bed in the morning. Sit and talk to people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Oh, I'll let you guys run the table and I'll go visit with people. That's great. Hey, it worked. You're the one. You were the one in Jesse's honey hut when we were spinning honey late that night. You said, "Dad, you could do this." And I said, "What?"
Yeah, because I was a teenager with a mouthful of braces and wax combs.
Sucking on wax and honey, the braces packed with wax. And we were just helping a friend spin about 50 gallons of honey. And Melody says, "We could do this, Dad." I said, "What?" "We could have our own bees. You have your own bees. You got the land." And you came up with the name Little Creek Bee Ranch. That's credited to you. But you said, "Look, we got a little creek." I said, "That's it. That's it, man." That's great. Thank you. Ooh, boy. One more. All right. We got some more back over there, I bet. Did you just work on this stack here?
Grab the 2 stacks you told me to get.
Okay, I'll check. Those are great memories, though. There we go. All right, here's another tip. So you have this good-sized colony, particularly a swarm, and you give them, let's say, 1 medium box. They'll fill that box up in just under 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks in the springtime up until June, mid-June. And then we get out to July, August, September, and it takes them about 4 to 5 weeks to fill a box. It slows down a bit. So you can get a feel for how fast a colony can fill a box. So in springtime, April, May, early June, they'll fill in 3 weeks. So you can kind of guesstimate and plan. I can put on so many boxes, I got this much time, all the way to August. I ought to be able to get 4 boxes if it's a good colony. And we come into early August and start trying to harvest. We'll take if it's early August, we'll take everything and give them 1 brand new box to fill for wintertime food. Give them enough time. August, September, October, they ought to fill another box. That's theirs for wintertime. Yep. Okay. There you go. Kind of pre-plan it. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. Dogs are out. Mom is missing a chicken. She thinks that's what happened. Okay. Yeah, spread them out there. I'm gonna go in here and check for 11 o'clock. Yep. Yep. Any more? In the honey hut. Just checking to see if I have any other comb that I gotta do here. No. I think I'm square. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all I got. To spray, mainly to spray. Yeah. Yeah, you can set a couple over there. That's all right. Okay, spraying's done. So the next videos coming up ought to be of us putting on pollen traps in some boxes here soon. The water out of that. Whatever is left over is no good. It doesn't keep. It spoils quickly. It's just the water's the carrier and lay it down and the water evaporates, at least residue, which is the microbe. So. Have you heard? Pull that out. All right. See you in the video. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning more about us, you can go to littlecreekbeeranch.com. Look at the personal advisor program, our coaching program. It's the #1 thing, most popular what we do. Lots of cool stuff. You can go to a page titled Our Uniqueness. That tells you more in bullet form what we're known for nationally. If you got questions, text us, call us. We'll be glad to help you. Thank you.